My name is Braxton. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to take composites of functions and also how to find their domain and range. First, I'm just going to explain what a composite is. It's pretty much like having a function within a function. So right here, the f composite of g of x is actually just f of g of x. And right here, g composite of f of x is literally just g of f of x. So we plug that in, you get on this left side of f of g of x, you get the square root of 1 over x plus 1, which is the g of x within f of x right here. And on this left side, you would get 1 over the square root of 1 over x plus 1. Actually, x plus 1. Trying to go fast, make mistakes. So to find the domain of this function, you just have to figure out where it equals 0. And for the first function, it's pretty simple. You just have to look and find out where this function, where under the radical it would be negative, which would be any number. You have negative infinity, because as you approach negative infinity, a larger negative number under this fraction, it gets smaller, which is irrelevant to the sign of the number under the radical. So we have negative infinity. Then as you approach -1, these are both non-inclusive. As you approach -1, you get a negative and you get a 0 actually under this radical, and you're not allowed to have that. So, and then you can pick back up from -1, and as we all know, a fraction plus 1 is equals to 1, so that's all good right there. And then from there, for the range of this function, we get 0, which is the lowest possible point on the function, 0 to 1, and we will union that with 1 to infinity. Okay, I'm going to erase this right now so I have space to work out the second part of this problem. For the domain of g of f of x, well, I got to write the composite for it first. The composite of g of f of x would be 1 over the square root of x plus 1. And to find the domain of that, you simply have to find where under the radical equals 0. And for this function, it is any negative number greater than 1, and you're allowed all positive numbers. So that'll be your domain, which is pretty good. It doesn't have anything funky going on like the other problem. And your range actually is also pretty simple. You'll start from 0, and you'll end up at infinity. So as you keep adding numbers into here, greater numbers, it'll keep increasing, which gets increasingly small. So you'll go to 0, but as you plug in 0, you get 1, which will be the lowest you can possibly get. And that is how you work out composite functions.